Another interesting point that, again, I don't think is getting nearly as much coverage as some people would like to see. I mentioned this earlier. Michigan Congresswoman Debbie Dingell, she's issued a warning to her party, essentially saying that she's afraid that these polls that we're seeing right now are wrong this time around about the president's supports, like they were in 2016. What does your own personal experience tell you?
Well, I'm totally confident, and I say that respectfully, out of having experience from day one. And here, look, Jen, black American here in the South, business owner, very visible out here on your network and many networks. And I will tell you, the silent majority would be even doubled. People are very, hesitant on what conversations they have from a cold caller and collecting data, calling themselves, quote, polling. And people need to realize that, especially with the cancel culture out there. And you go out there and try to voice your opinion, my God, to throw a rock at your window. A black business owner come forward and say, hey, I support the president. The next thing you know, they'll throw rocks in the window. So there is, and I know this, and I'll bet everything on what I own, Jen. He will be the next president of the United States again. And yes, there is a double silent majority out there that's very silent, and they're waiting for November 8th to put President Trump back in the Oval Office again.
I will have you back, and we'll have that discussion when it comes to that. But I do want to talk about some of these polls a little bit more. This is another interesting topic that we're seeing the left sort of have a very different narrative than what the polls reflect. A majority of Americans don't want police defunded. We know the president is investing even more in police. He just made a big announcement on this front. You tweeted about this recently, and I want to show our viewers there. You said, I can't believe we're debating on how many law enforcement officers we bring to a city just to save a life. So what do you think this says about these two campaigns, the Biden campaign and the Trump campaign, especially when it comes to the issue of law and order in this country?
Well, it's very dear to me, Jen, and thanks for that question. I'm one of 30.6 million small businesses in the country, and we represent 42% of the GDP. We're strong. We're in all types of cities. I have friends in Seattle, friends in Oregon, and let me tell you, you talk about suffering in terms of just the chaos that's going on in these cities. But here's something very interesting. What we had here in Atlanta, we lost a little black child because we had this, quote, group that wanted to form a blockade right off University Boulevard, right around the corner from where the Wendy's was burned to the ground with the situation here that we had, the uprising in Atlanta. And I said, they were arguing about 1,000 troops, 2,000 troops. And I said this, what's her life worth? If the governor sends 20,000 or 10,000, what is that one child worth? Why are we debating on whether it's the FBI, CIA, DEA, Sheriff's Department, PD? Let me tell you, I just got a text, Jen, the other day, and one of the officers here said that one of his officers went to a call, and he got there just in time, because domestics are on the uprise. That's another subject. And had that officer not gotten there in time, Jen, then he saved this lady from being choked to death. So this goes back into the point that woman didn't worry about if it was a police, a federal troop, or whatever. It was a law enforcement officer that saved her life. So what difference does it make on the title? Who sent it? She sent it. The business people, the community, black, white, tall, small, brown, whoever we are, we will take anybody. It don't matter what title it is. And that's what's so disheartening about these mayors in these cities that are sitting here like, playing politics with these life savings of these business owners and the lives of these people in these communities.
Well, and you're certainly right there, Bruce. I mean, these are people's lives. These are people's livelihoods on the line here. And it's surprising to see how many people are debating whether something is considered a crime, whether it merits being called a crime or not. So it's just something that it's hard to wrap my mind around. But Bruce LeVell, thank you so much for joining us today.
Yeah. Thanks, Jen. Thanks for having me.
Want to see more videos like this? Click on the link below and subscribe to One American News on YouTube. And call your cable provider and kindly demand that One American News is added to your lineup. Call and subscribe today.